Hello everybody, First Month is here, today with something really special for me, and I'm really glad I get the knife, and that is this one, another Warcraft Tanto, cold steel Warcraft Tanto. This version, it is the smallest brother of the largest Warcraft Tanto, made by cold steel, as I said, probably. And this is the version of, there is a set of these in 3 versions. I mean, compare with the length. This is the longest, there is the shorter one, and this is the shortest. All of them are made in Taiwan with the DLC coating. That's very important for this one because this is the shortest, so the same design, everything should be same, but this is made in Italy. Yes, you can see there. So something rare, and I believe they are making now some another knives in Italy. So I don't know what's happened there, why. And what's different, of course, this is Stonewash finish. All of them are in black, so only this model, as I know, is made in this version. Otherwise, CPN 3V, G10 handles, everything should be same. Only it's made in Italy, and it has a Stonewash on it. Okay, I will start with some specifications as a first, then we will talk about something else. So weight, just the knife is 273 grams, or 9.6 ounces. Sheath, we go to that a little bit later, weighs 64 grams or 2.2 ounces, and altogether 337 grams or 11.8 ounces, so almost 12 ounces overall package. Okay, the thickness of that is 0.19. They advertise it again as a 5 millimeters, which is not. It's 4.8. Sometimes I find 4.9, but no 5 millimeters. So 0.19. This is blade as it should be. Overall length of the knife is 25 centimeters or 10 inches, which should be a little bit over. 1 inch should be 254, so 25.4, so not really difference, but it is made of CPN 3V, as I said, G10 handles, and secure X sheath plastic. Okay, now some corrections. I made this painting. I hope you see that. So, always some troubles with these measuring on those knives. I don't know why the cold steel and tops, where I try to measure it as they said, I'm always wrong. So we got 14 centimeters as a blade coming from here, from the end of the handle here to the very tip, 14 centimeters or 5.51, so generally 5.5 inches. If we go from this point to the very tip, we got 12.8 centimeters or 5.03 inches. So as I said, here we just it seems to me like, oh yeah, 1 centimeter different. Okay, yeah, okay, it should be something like that. Okay, then we've got blade from here, from this like end of ricasso, so where the real edge starts, to the very tip, 12.4 centimeters. That's the 5 inches. Yes, should be 5 inches or 4.88 inches. So generally 5 inches, so close to 5 inches, as I said. from this start, so the real edge. But the standard slicing edge, so this one is 10.3 centimeters or 4.05 inches. So this one. So as a cutting edge, the standard edge is slightly over 4 inches. And it's kind of comfortable, but come to a little bit later. And we got the handle 11.4 centimeters. I didn't measure it in that, so it should be 4.5, about 4.5 inches. And I measure it from this point to the very end of the handle. Why? Because that's the point, you know. Always we got the problem where to measure it. Sometimes if you got this knife and police officer stops you, you carry the blade. Let's say it's legal in your state, but there is restriction for the blade length where they will measure it from here, from just behind the guard, or where the handle is, because you know you probably won't slice somebody because the security, so somebody with this point, and even if somebody stops someone, so the handle is here, so it probably won't go more than to that deep. This is always questionable, and I don't understand why they do that. So it's weird. The length of the knife, as I said, should be 10 inches, and I found that like the guard, the measurement or length, I put it this way, length of this guard, I mean this one is 5 millimeters, so 0.2 of inches, like disappear. You know, if we measure this one and the blade from here, from this one, and thus nobody counts this one. In the measurements, it's gone off. Okay, that's maybe the as I said, it's 10 inches, but it is generally not 25 centimeters. It's 25.4, something like that. And this one could be the one. Okay, just for general info, we got this. I bought this knife because I like the cold steel Tantos generally. And I'm a little bit worried about Cold Steel Company, how or where they go now. So I was worried. I ordered this knife from my, let's say, standard supplier, but he couldn't get it within 2 weeks, and I was a little bit worried. I said, okay, but I've checked the Cold Steel page, and I've tried to find out these, or I mean the Warcraft series generally. And I guess there is none today, or maybe just the regular version that's 7 inches blade, somewhere like that. But I'm not sure. Maybe they are not. So they simply stopped to make these. So I said I really want this. So I checked the price today. It is today. I believe it's four. Sorry, I had an early busy day, but didn't check the date. The 4th of June, 2021. So I checked the DLT just a few minutes ago, and there was price $150. Let's say $150. I paid about $270 for that. Yes, I could have it from my standard supplier for about $50 less, but he couldn't find it. So that's why I'm telling you, if you like it, it is available to buy it on DLT today for $150, which is good price for me for 5 inches blade, G10, CPM 3V. You know, so generally, for me, good price definitely. And as I said, I like that. I like the design. I really like this big guy because this is really great chopper. And I said, okay, I won't have it, this one. Not the black one. This is more fancy, you know, and I don't have any problem with that. And something else, I expected something, let's say, it should be made, I mean, manufactured a little bit more. I expected that in Italy than in Taiwan, because as we know, Maniago in Italy, they're making knives. I don't know the company. Sorry, I just mentioned Italian company, but maybe it is not for. it doesn't stick with all the companies in Italy. Maniago, there are many famous knife company. You know, the Italian guys make the extra ratio, DPX knives, Lion steel knives, all of them great. So that's why I expected something else. Okay, when I get this knife, I was a little bit disappointed with manufacturing. I'll show you why. And generally, when I get it, I said, okay, I'm glad I got it. I expected something a little bit more, but longer as I got the knife, I'm even more happy with that. So this is kind of different swap. You know, sometimes you got something new and you are excited, like, wow, I got it, and say, okay, and you're gonna lose your attention to that or something like that. In this knife, I got in the other way. I expected more than I get it. So, now I'm really glad I got this knife. But manufacturing, the blade generally, because this is, I guess, CNC again. Maybe you can see some uneven grinding here to the tip. And it is on the very tip. So the sharpening line here on this side is more, more smooth angle is there, which on the other side is more rough. So it doesn't go like this one. It goes like this one. So, but this is not a big deal. But you know, because it's, as I said, it's CNC, so it should be okay. But it is all right. There's no really big problems. I had much bigger. What is more important are the handle scales. As I said, made of G10. On this side, no problems. But when we go to the inward side, both hear that, you can hear that. There is almost 1 millimeter, not here, but here the problem starts on both sides. I hope you can see that. Now you can see nicely the G10 simply is above the steel. It looks for me like, you know, somebody produced these G10 handles somewhere else, then they brings it here and just stick there. Nobody cares to finish it. So under the guard, this is fine. There's no problems here. But when you fall down to the choils, then you find out these problems. These problems start somewhere here on both sides. Goes here, 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 and now they disappear. So the problematic part is here. I probably will take a sandpaper. I didn't do that because I want you to see that. So probably I'll get sandpaper, or we'll see. So, and I will make it even with the steel. We'll see. The screws, by the way, seems to me like the same on the biggest model, yeah, which is kind of weird, especially on this one. If you know, if there will be on this knife, there will be some bigger screws, I think I'll be more happy. I mentioned it when I did test of the largest version. Somebody asked if the scales loose. They didn't actually when I did the tests, but when I use it more and chop more and more, not in the test, later, they gonna lose. They went loose simply. So I tightened it up, and from the time they are all right. So I think yes, they can go loose, but it's not really some problem. Simply can tighten them up from both sides. I guess on these could be the same, but because the knife is much more shorter, much more lighter, it's maybe don't happen. Maybe. We'll see. We got the standard grip like this one. Otherwise, you know, there is no problem on that. The sharpness, I used the knife already. This is not actually the original edge. I used the steel because I used the knife, but it was very close to the factory sharpness, as I said. Not really. I made it a little bit more sharper than it was before as a new one, but not really much. So you can see the tip. As I said, almost 5 millimeters thick. But what is very important and very interesting on this knife, and what surprised me very much than I expected, let's say on this one, the secondary bevel is just 0.6 of millimeters high. So this is very, very thin real edge. Really, I was surprised. As I said, you remember guys, I said always 0.8 millimeters for me starts as a slicer. I expected on this knife, because usually they make the knife more sturdy, you know, for these things. Usually cold steel is used that, same as the tops, for example. They got higher secondary bevel and they said, okay, you can do pretty much everything because the edge stands up abusing. They probably don't count on this one. They said, okay, we want this one as a slicer. So we got very, very steep angle on this Tanto, let's say, tip, with modern Tanto, with 1 millimeter high secondary bevel, which is above the standards for me, but great for this one, because when it penetrates to something, it probably stands where it is or how it is. But this is very slicey, guys. Absolutely, I was surprised when I measured it. I said, oh yes. So I already use it. As I said, I'm really happy. I probably put on convex on it, which is better as my experience goes. But as of now, as this one, it's great. It's great slicer. Before I carry on, just a few knife comparison. This is T2 Tracker. The shorter one, I guess it weighs 260 or 280 grams, not sure. This one weighs 270. So these two are very close in weight, and as you can see in the size also. Something more comparable, I would say, in description and generally, is this Lion Steel M5. Or just put it in this way. The Lion Steel has slightly shorter blade, about 6 millimeters. But as we can see here, it has the shorter handle also. But this knife is made for that. Then my Despot Large, Williamson Despot Large, which is again sub 5 inches blade, 5 millimeters also, so close to 5. This is, let's say, 4.8. With the profile of the handle, generally, you can see both of them trying to be slim in profile. They're succeeding in that. And something in the length very close to that is Tops bootlegger. I got this one, the version 1. As we can see, these two are like brothers, each of them in different shape, but very close length, general length. I believe maybe it is 5 millimeters difference, that's it. That's for size compared. This is, by the way, 1/4 of an inch, so you can see, okay, I'll put it in this one. 5 millimeters and 6.5, 0.19 or 0.19, or generally 1/4 of an inch. Okay. I got it as an EDC now. On the sheath there was this lashing, or how to say that, this strap which you can use, put it on your belt. I don't want it on this one. It's okay, but I don't want it on this one because I don't feel it is good. Interesting was this is the secure, so standard plastic. When you stick the long version there is no click, and the retention is, I mentioned that, is here. You can see how this one opens, and simply it grabs the handles from sides. I did some upgrade here because I like to carry sometimes this one upside down. What first time was interesting for me, there is a click, as you know, as you see, there wasn't. I said, okay, maybe different system, something. I don't know. What I put, I stick the one screw here and another screw here, and I can lose it or tie it. And of course, I can get bigger or less retention, but the click is there. I took the strap out and I use this CVV T-clip, I believe they call it T-clip, for the standard belt carry, because when you pull the knife off, it's of course great, but because with the strap you could have a problem to pull it off with one hand. If you grab it in this way, of course there is no problem. In this way, oh sorry, it's too much loose. If I got it on my belt and this one, that's no problem. So, and I can use it. I just tested now, so I did 2 days before. What was interesting, when I grabbed this knife here, of course I can pull it off. No, but I'd like to have this one more, sorry, from this way, more contour to grab it generally on the spot when I want it. So when I grab it here, of course I want to go off, but I'll be glad to if I can grab it on this finger choil. So here, that will be better. What I like on this knife also, how you grab it. When you got it is in your hand, it is, I think, only knife which make like for my fingers. You see that? I'm really on the positions. 1, 2, 3. There is no another knife which has these multiple choils which are made like for my hand. Even the handle is really slim. When I get it first, I said, I don't know, maybe. But when I get it, I say, okay, but you got a slim profile. When you carry it in town, you want something like this one. You got a longer handle, also for, say, use it in when you need simply to baton it. This one you will work with some wood. I say you can EDC it also in forest, because I believe the Tanto is great for whatever you want. There is no belly on it, but it's, I will do another video about the tips, so the answer will be there. So I will not talk about it now. So you can hammer it like this one. Why I mentioned that? Because, for example, on the tracker, you got also this shape, but you got just this point. So when you want to hammer this one, it slips down on here, on these sides, not here. You got simply kind of flat part, you know, and you can use it in this way. So it's great. When you hold it in this way, so you can use it for light chopping. It has some weight, it has some length for the size, of course. That's, you got some weight. And when you grab it here, still 4 fingers grab, or grip. And I try to use without enlashing, put a power to that, and it sits there. It's still like full handle here. So it's great for that, and you got a longer handle, longer edge. So when you use for light chopping, you can really put some energy into it, and it's CPM 3V, so it should stand something. So it's great. And when you hold it in this way, it really, when you grab it in this one, so you can do your slashes if you need, with really powerful, or you can bit prolong it, and you feel that it's really comfortable. I will do another video about this one, but it is great when I have it in my hand. Also, what I like on this knife, same as I did, this is longer, the ricasso is longer here, so when I grab this knife here, it's safe. I'm really out of the blade. Still, I got few millimeters out of the blade, so I can use it for this one, which I did in a forest. If you've seen the video, I can do it here. And I like it, and I probably do some little sharpening choil here, which allows me to do that. But anyway, when I grab it here, I try that, and because maybe you can see that, but this part is slightly above the real edge. So if you rest your finger on that, which is not safe as on that one, but you can do it because your finger sits on something which is already above the real edge. If you don't move your finger on the edge, you're great. So, even you can support it. I put the sharpening choil here, 3-4 millimeters. I separate it even more, and I got kind of choil, and I like it simple on my knife. So generally, I would say I'm very happy with the knife now. The manufacturing could be better for that, but CPM 3V, great knife, very good in hand, really nice. I can recommend it to you, and as we know, it could be, sorry, as we know, but it could be some last chance to buy some good knives made by cold steel, because we don't know. So I'll see you in test video. Have a nice time. Bye. So here we are with some size comparison with Warcraft Tanto, the longest version. I put the sheet there, but you know, these are the same. So just you can see these are generally same. I got a kind of tech lock here, so this is so the arm here isn't something like that, but forget about that one. Let's go to the knives. So as we can see, this is the shortest, brother. You can see it about that, how big difference it is. And if we're talking about thickness, so blade stock is the same exactly, and it tapers down on each of those, but you can see the thickness of the handle. This is really the short version is really a slim profile, and the largest version is kind of thick, but is good when you chop to have something like this one. What about tapering down to the tip? Actually, there is maybe some, but just a little. I don't think there. It should be the same thickness all the way, I believe. I'm not sure now about the longer version, but on the short you can see it looks the same. Okay, so enough about that comparison.